Hello, good evening all. My next video as a digital customer care is going to be on writing that sells plus suites. Writing that sells plus suits. What is the goal of this particular topic? The goal is that you have to sound human, but not like a bot. Everybody wants to communicate with a human being. Why? Because the intelligence that creation has planted in human being is much more superior than the intelligence of a bot. So in this particular video, we want to let you know that the goal of writing that cells and sutes is for you to sound like a human, not like a robot. For example, number one is that tone for Nigeria. As a digital customer care or success, that you are working for a brand, targeting an audience in a complex country like Nigeria that have so many languages. The most important way you have to communicate with most Nigerians who don't really understand English, especially the elderly ones and the uneducated, is that we have a tone or a language called Pidgin English. So in Nigeria, you can discuss with your clients or with your customer online using warm Pidgin tone, sound very friendly as a human being, but professional. So when you are communicating with a client, use a warm pidgin English to the audience who don't really understand pure English, but they can speak the pidgin very well. And when you are doing that, be friendly online with people. But in that friendliness, sound like a professional. Understand me? So the next thing you will need is empathy phrase. What are empathy phrases? I understand that frustration. When a client air out his or her frustrations, maybe there was another digital customer agent that didn't treat her very well. So she decided to call and give a second chance to your company that you are branding their product. So what you need is the empathy phrases. Tell the client that I understand your frustration. Don't back at the client. That is what we call empathy phrases. I understand that frustration. Let me fix it for you. The next statement, let me fix it for you. Address the entire problems that the customer was having, whether with one of your colleagues who didn't treat them very well. So you need empathy phrases, okay, when you are handling writing that sells and suit. So another thing you will need is that what not to say. What are the things that you are not to say as a digital customer care online? Calm down. That's not my fault. That's not nice. It sounds aggressive and opposing. So rather than you using calm down, that is not my fault, tell the customer, I understand you very well. Please, ma, please, sir, I am going to cross check whatsoever you have inquired or whatsoever be your complaint. Please, may I ask you to be patient with me? In the next 10 minutes, I am going to sort it out and I am going to get back to you and update you with the solution that you need that will solve problems between me and you and our brand, so that the relationship and the patronizing character that you have been giving out to my company will remain intact. Okay, so the next thing you will need is that writing that sales bills. Writing that sales bills. So writing a sales builds confidence in your business and customer to stay. So when you write that sales bills, it creates confidence. There is a confidence between you and your customer or your client to stay. Remember, the primary aim is for you not to let them go. The primary aim is for you to commit the customer to stay, to buy again, to keep on patronizing your brand and not losing the customer to another competitor or any company that is competing with their product. So you need that writing that sales bills. Understand me? So writing that sales bill builds confidence between you and your customer and help the customer to stay, buy again, and recommend your brand. So it helps the customer to stay, it helps the customer to buy again, and it is also customer that recommend your brand to people. If people don't recommend your brand to people, you will not be able to reach the entire people on it. So it is because of you writing that sales builds that confidence between you and your customer, and it helps the customer to buy again, it helps the customer to stay, and it also helps the customer to recommend your brand. And that creates traffic, and traffic creates money and exposure and relevance in the marketing community. So another thing you will need to do is that reduce negative weights and replace them with positive weights. Always reduce negative weights. If it was being committed by one of your colleagues, your job as a digital customer care lead or manager is for you to reduce negative weights and replace them with positive weights. Understand me? Avoid ways that create tension. Don't answer your customer with ways that can create tension. Always avoid ways that create tension. Instead of you can't, impossible, problem, use ways like here's what we can do. Another option, let's do it together. Those are the kind of ways you use. Understand me? So another option is let's work on this together. You can ask the customer, please, let's work on this together, rather than being offensive. So what another thing that you will need is that the 5-step customer reply formula. You need what we call the 5-step customer reply formula. Every great response should follow this structure. What we call the 5-step customer reply formula. Every great brand, every great company that is promoting their brand through WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok, Zendex, or Facebook. Understand me? Every great response should follow this structure. Number one structure is that you must have to greet the client. Number two, show empathy. Understand me? Number three, explain in details. Let them have an accurate, precise, and the exact knowledge of what you are saying. Number four, always offer solution and not to create problems and tensions. Understand me? Number five, close warmly. Close with a very warmly weight. That is very important for you as a digital customer care. So the next thing you will need is that weight that builds trust. Always use weights that build trust. Understand me? Because weights that builds trust is like absolute certainty. Understand me? It's like absolute certainty. Happy to help. You are welcome. Thank you. Solutions. These are words that build trust between a customer or a client with his own digital customer care. So always use words that build trust. For example, words like absolutely done. Certainly it will be done. I am excited and happy to help. You are welcome. Thank you. I have solutions to your inquiries. These are very important when you are using writing that sells and suit. So these are the rules and the regulations. These are the steps. These are the lessons you need to learn, and you also need to acquire, and you also need to put it to work as a digital customer care. Thank you very much for this section. See you in the next video. Bless you.